Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5:30.
My firefighting teams tell me they are optimistic that cooler weather coming toward the end of this week will be a tremendous help.
State leaders say fire crews continue to make progress on fires burning statewide. Hundreds of thousands of acres are either on fire or have been in Oregon. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Mazer. We're also learning a devastating update on the death toll in Oregon tonight as Governor Brown says there has been 10 fire-related deaths confirmed by the state medical examiner. At least 22 people are missing. Governor Brown asked President Trump to declare a major disaster in the state of Oregon. But after days of hot, windy weather, a silver lining. Conditions have calmed and the temperature has dropped, allowing crews to better attack fires across the state. The Holiday Fire is burning more than 166,000 acres and is now at 6% containment. Fire crews are using heavy equipment to dig control lines, with fire crews digging hand lines in steeper terrain. Search and rescue teams and structural assessment teams are working inside the perimeter to look for missing people and examine buildings. There are more than 23,000 structures threatened.
We have insurance that covers everything, but it doesn't replace the memories.
The photos, the priceless mementos that are being destroyed by the Holiday Farm fire that began just last week. NBC 16 is on your side with continuing live team coverage of wildfires across Oregon. Our chief meteorologist, Josh Cozart, is standing by at the Weather Center with a closer look at how the smoke is impacting our air quality. David Ochoa, live in Roseburg, following details of a structure destroyed by the Archie Creek fire. Olivia Young is live in Eugene with resources for pets threatened by the wildfires. But first, we turn back in live with our Lauren Negretti joining us from the Eugene Masonic Lodge right now, helping evacuees sort through the confusion. They're trying to figure out where to find shelter, where they can go tonight. Lauren?
That's right, Jacqueline, and I want to give some good news for our Rick George, who we just spoke to. He did find a hotel tonight through the Veterans Affairs office here, so those resources here are available for people. Just come on down. As far as in general here, the Red Cross is taking applications for hotels. They're the ones coordinating that, and they've left the Eugene evacuation site, but they're doing that over the phone too. You can contact them over the phone. Now, for officials with the Lane County Sheriff's Office say there aren't any official overnight shelters because of COVID, but that the Red Cross are the ones getting people roofs over their heads. Volunteer coordinator Joshua Martin says the community outreach is now working to find their own overnight shelter and housing solutions for evacuees.
We're coordinating with nonprofit organizations, community leaders, business leaders, and local heroes. The immediate reaction is we need to find them housing as quickly as possible, but in order to protect Lane County and the rest of our residents, it's really important that we get
Martin
testing.
says rapid testing is needed to be able to separate healthy evacuees and quarantine evacuees who test positive for COVID. Now, volunteer coordinators say they're taking donations in the form of gas cards and gift cards. Now, the hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but they are going to stop welcoming in. They are going to stop having donations for evacuees at 7:30 to allow them time to close up and pack everything up for the night here. Now, for evacuees, the best bet, again, is to call the Red Cross and coordinate shelter for them and to check in here at the Eugene Masonic Lodge across from Outson Stadium. For now, live in Eugene, I'm Lauren Negretti. Back to you in the studio, Jacqueline.
All right, Lauren, thanks again for that report tonight. Well, the Beachy Creek is burning more than 188,000 acres. Right now, it is still 1 mile apart from the Riverside fire, according to the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office. They say if they did eventually merge, it would not lead to dynamic fire behavior like we saw last week. This is video now of the damage from the Beachy Creek fire in Gates near Detroit. Many buildings are just a pile of rubble, twisted metal. You can see on your screen chimneys, the only thing still standing. The Lions Head fire destroyed more than 260 homes and 14 commercial properties. Officials say more homes and structures are still at risk. The more than 168,000 acre fire is burning from the Detroit area to the Warm Springs Reservation. The fire is only 5% contained. The Archie Creek fire in Glide destroyed 109 homes. 255 residents from Glide and Idlewild Park checked on the status of their homes in a meeting last night. The fire is more than 121,000 acres and remains 10% contained. Fire crews continue to reinforce containment lines. Pacific Power is working along Highway 138 by cutting hazardous trees, checking downed power lines, and removing debris from the roadway. No reports of any deaths or people missing. We're a little less than a week into the Archie Creek fire in Douglas County, and we're beginning to learn about some of the losses tonight. Our David Ochoa joins us live tonight in Douglas County. David, an unfortunate loss to report this evening.
Jacqueline, as the people of Glide and the Idlewild Park areas wonder about the fates of their homes and businesses, we do know about one loss. The Rock Creek Hatchery has all but been destroyed.
The Rock Creek Hatchery has been a part of the community for almost a century. The facility was first built in 1925, but now in 2020, it's become one of the many victims of the Archie Creek fire.
With the exception of the Rock Ed Education Center, pretty much all the buildings and employee housing are either destroyed or severely damaged.
The hatchery was used for adult collection, spawning, incubation, and rearing of different kinds of fish. It was a place where students from many schools would come to learn about fish and other wildlife. It's still unclear about just how much the fish were affected.
We don't know the total extent of the fish loss. It's pretty dire, and we'll be assessing the damage and figuring out our next steps in the days and weeks when it's safe for us to get back there on the property.
Crews are still trying to clear the roads of power lines and other debris so officials can get to the hatchery. The facility is part of 109 homes that have been destroyed by the fire. As for the long-term impact of fish production in the Umpqua River, it's still too early to tell.
I'm in the middle of discussions with, and our leadership in the agency are in discussions about how we're going to address fish production on the Umpqua.
When asked about rebuilding the facility, Walter says he doesn't have the answers right now, but they are exploring all options. Reporting live from Roseburg, I'm David Ochoa. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you, David. The Linn County Sheriff's Office is investigating several suspicious fires from this morning. Within a 2-hour period, deputies and fire crews responded to 8 different small fires in the areas of Scott Mountain Road, west of Sweet Home, Whiskey Butte Drive, east of Sweet Home, and Washburn Heights Drive outside of Brownsville. Deputies say they're looking for a small white or silver pickup truck seen in the area of one of those fires. Take a look at this drone video. Nick Brumfield captured this aerial footage of smoky skies over Portland over the weekend. You can barely see a foot in front of you. It'll be a few more days before the smoke moves out of the region. The air quality here in Linn County is still hazardous, so remember to stay indoors as much as possible. And as we mentioned, smoke and haze continues to fill West Oregon skies after a week of low visibility and poor air quality. Chief Meteorologist Josh Kozart joins us live now with a closer look. Josh.
And Jacqueline, if you remember, it was about this time last week that we really started to see all of that smoke and haze rush its way into the valley and coastal communities, and that's where we still sit with very unhealthy, hazardous conditions up and down the I-5 corridor and out and along the coast. Air quality warnings also remain in effect. That's through Thursday afternoon, so we're not quite done with this just yet, as a dense smoke advisory remains for the southern Willamette Valley through Monday evening. For the Umpqua Valley, that's going to last until Tuesday afternoon. It's dropped our visibilities through the valleys to just a little bit less than a mile in the Eugene-Springfield area, 0.5 of a mile in Roseburg, and a little less than that out and along the coast. Now, the reason for this smoke to slowly push its way out of our area is due to this low pressure system with the trailing cold front. You can really kind of see a lot of that rain just off the coast. Unfortunately, not going to be pushing its way on shore for at least the next 24 hours. But the southwesterly winds helping to eventually push that smoke away with anywhere from about 0 to 10 miles an hour is our current wind speeds. But we'll be tracking that rain chance coming up in my full forecast.
All right, thanks so much for the update, Josh. As the holiday farm fire continues to displace Linn County residents, it's also threatening countless pets and livestock. NBC 16's Olivia Young is live at Green Hill Humane Society with more on rescue and shelter efforts. Olivia.
Jacqueline, Green Hill Humane Society is sheltering animals impacted by the holiday farm fire. That means reuniting lost pets with their families and boarding animals who can't go home yet. Green Hill is working with countless other groups and volunteer networks to save animals from this fire.
As the holiday farm fire continues to devastate Linn County, emergency resources are spread thin.
Police chief is busy, 911 dispatch is busy. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't people that have time to go take a cat out of a house. We do.
Volunteers like Julie Ohashi are jumping in to help rescue animals threatened by the fire, and they're organizing online. Ohashi created the Holiday Farm Fire Animal Rescue Facebook page, where volunteers and resources can organize, and pet owners can fill out a Google form requesting aid for their animals. From there, Ohashi mobilizes crews to rescue animals from homes or help them shelter in place. Trevor Lammers also posted to Facebook and ended up creating a large-scale rescue network.
If I just put that, if anybody needed any livestock moved, let me know. I didn't really, we don't have fires like this here, so I just wanted to help out if, anybody needed anything. And I woke up and it was like crazy. So we just started going from there, and it kind of accumulated more and more guys to help us.
With the help of local businesses, Lammers and others have rescued 250 animals since last Tuesday and counting. Most of the livestock are taken to the Lane County Fairgrounds. Small animals are triaged at VCA McKenzie Animal Hospital in Springfield. If they're injured, they get veterinary care, and if they're healthy, they go to Green Hill Humane Society.
Those animals here are receiving a lot of love, safe shelter, medical care if needed, lots of enrichment opportunities, and ultimately we are very excited to be able to reunite those families when the time is right.
For animals whose owners can't take them back yet because of the fire, and for pets whose owners haven't yet been found, Green Hill will board them free of charge.
In addition to taking in more than 75 animals, Green Hill has also given out over 3 tons of supplies and hundreds of care packages. If you need supplies to take care of your animal, you can pick them up at Green Hill 7 days a week. Green Hill's phone lines are also open 24/7 if you need help, information, or if you want to donate supplies or money. Live in West Eugene, I'm Olivia Young.
Thanks for that report, Olivia. Meanwhile, as a reminder, several school districts in our area pushed back their start dates because of the wildfire conditions. Springfield, Eugene 4J, and Bethel school districts will now start remote learning on September 21st. Parents will be able to pick up distance laptops and tablets this week. You can check the district's website for distribution dates. Coming up on your only local news at 5:30, evacuees continue to worry about their homes, how one man is trying to relieve some stress by opening up his home. And as a reminder, this is a non-emergency call center. If you or someone you know is being affected by the Holiday Farm Fire, the number 541-682-3977. The call center is open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. NBC 16 News is on your side, keeping you up to date on fires in Oregon. Be sure to visit our website, NBC16.com, our Facebook page at KMTR News, or download our app. Stay with us. We'll have more wildfire coverage after the break.